If prayer feels like dialing a dead phone, you're using the wrong protocol. What most people call prayer is pleading into a void. What I'm about to teach you is an operational ritual, precise, minimal, and built to reboot the signal inside you. This mirror ritual activates the pineal focal center, not as a medical procedure, but as a subtle body recalibration. A way to remember the spark that already lives at your core, and to speak to that spark with authority. If you want a repeatable practice that shifts your alignment, stay with me. Begin by holding a simple image, an armored door in a dark corridor. Tears fall against the metal, but the latch doesn't move. The tears are sincere, the method is wrong. The world we experience is structured so that most beings remain supplicants, asking, hoping, bargaining. In the Gnosis frame, I teach that structure is not neutral. Call it the demiurge, an architect of limitation, a pattern that bureaucratizes the divine. Around that system stand gatekeepers, often named archons, in the tradition, not mythology to fear, but metaphors for the noise, the habits, the automatic reflexes that reroute your request back into powerlessness. They don't literally live in the clouds. They live in the circuits of attention and doubt. You are not just an embodied mind. In the language of the tradition, there is a spark, the pneumatic, that remembers. Most people identify as hylics, the purely material self, and therefore remain dependent on external remedies. The work here is to shift identity from hylic habit to pneumatic recognition, to remember who you are at the level of source. That remembering is not an abstract uplift. It is a felt, somatic event. It happens in the chest and behind the forehead. It has a texture, a heaviness that becomes golden, a cooling clarity at the point between the eyes. This ritual teaches you to generate that feeling, and then to use it as a channel. If you need a precedent to hold in your mind, consider the Lazarus episode through an esoteric lens. In certain mystical readings, Jesus' action is not a plea, but a code operation, a recognition of a hidden connection, a declaration that flips the timeline. He does not beg to the system. He reports a completed alignment and issues a command that collapses the threshold. That is the model. Read as interpretation, not doctrine. Many traditions see the narrative as an example of authority restored, not a literal transcript of words. Use it as a principle, report, claim, and command. Everything we will do revolves around 3 keys: short, precise, and somatic. First, recognition, a sudden remembering of the divine spark inside you. Physically, you will feel a spine lift, a small ignition behind the sternum, and at the base of the skull. Second, authority, an embodied, chest-based certainty, not bravado, but a felt claim that your inner law is operative. It's the ring of a bell in the sternum. You can feel it as firmness in posture and voice. Third, command, a crisp, declarative instruction issued from that alignment. Not begging, not longer than a breath. Think of these as cryptographic keys. One opens the lock. The second verifies identity. The third executes the change. Noise and doubt are the Archon's primary tools. They show up as internal commentary, what if this doesn't work? As anxiety that reorients attention outward, or as skepticism that dilutes voice. That is normal. Expect it. The technique is built to outpace the noise by operating faster than habit. The crucial skill you will learn is known engagement. Observe the doubt. Do not respond. The ritual closes with an explicit release, designed to avoid re-entering the loop of watching and waiting. And now the vehicle, the mirror. The mirror here is not vanity. It is an amplifier and a feedback loop. It allows you to confront an image of yourself, while also providing a surface to align attention. Facing the mirror, the ritual uses visual focus to anchor the pineal focal point, a subtle inner light point behind the forehead, and connects that focalization to the heart chamber. We will transmute internal resonance into a clear vocal command that functions as both status report and directive to the monad. Your name for source in this protocol. Remember, this is a practice in inner signal optimization, not a medical activation of any organ. Do not interpret pineal activation as a physiological cure. Think of it as a shift in perception and energetic focalization, or prepare a small space. Dim the lights so your face is visible but not harsh. A single soft lamp or candle works. Sit comfortably with your spine supported, feet on the floor, the mirror at eye level about an arm's length away. Keep the environment quiet. If you are prone to dissociation, severe anxiety, or are currently in psychological crisis, do not perform this ritual unattended. Seek appropriate support. This is an experimental, subjective practice. Treat it with respect and personal discernment. Before we move into the full sequence, let me offer a short micro version you can try now. Take 60 seconds, ground, and issue a one-line command. If you're willing, do this with me briefly. Sit upright, eyes open, take one slow inhalation. Feel the weight of the body on the chair. Place your hand lightly over your sternum to feel the heart chamber. And say silently or softly, Monad, I am here. No expectation. No looking for signs. If you try that, return and leave a single neutral comment below, like I tested the line. That small act anchors you. And it's optional. Try only if you feel stable. Here is the full protocol. We will follow the sequence. Disconnect gives descent, gives resonance, gives mirror focalization. Pineal focal gives vocal report, plus command gives release. Keep this order. Each step prepares the next. Disconnect. Close your eyes. Take 3 breaths to move attention away from noise. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. On the second exhale, imagine unplugging a cable behind your neck. A gentle detachment from the habitual stream of thinking. This is not avoidance. It is a temporary suspension of the believing mind. Let the phone of thoughts go silent. If thoughts persist, do not wrestle with them. Label them briefly, thought, and let them pass. Descent. With eyes still closed, slide attention like an elevator down the central channel of the body. Visualize a narrow shaft of light descending from the crown to the heart, then to the base of the sternum. Feel the head align over the spine. Breathe slowly and imagine each inhalation bringing light down, each exhalation allowing the chest to deepen. The descent is not a literal movement of the physical body, but a felt recentering. The head quiets. The chest becomes the epicenter. You should notice a small somatic shift. The sternum softens into an open receptivity. The spine lengthens, and there is a quieting behind the eyes. This is the recognition step taking shape as sensation. Resonance. Once you feel the chest settled, begin a breath cadence to generate resonance. Choose a comfortable rhythm. Inhale for a count of 4, hold a brief pause of 2, exhale for 6, or adjust within your comfort. With each exhalation, imagine a low tone vibrating in the chest, a bell in the sternum. Let that tone be felt, more than heard. It is a carrier wave for your command. Allow the breath to deepen the chest's certainty. This is the authority tuning. As the chest settles into a resonant tone, notice a faint focal point between the brows, a luminous point that may feel like a small open room behind the forehead. This is what we will call the pineal focal center, an experiential locus for attention and inner seeing. Mirror focalization? Open your eyes and look into the mirror. Do not stare aggressively. Soften the gaze and maintain the internal resonance you cultivated. Anchor your attention on the point between your eyebrows as you see your face reflected. The mirror will show familiar features while your attention rests slightly behind the eyes. Let your chest's resonance inform the clarity in that gaze. Many people will notice a subtle tremor of recognition in their face, like seeing an old photograph of themselves after years. Stay present. The mirror is an amplifier. Your inner focal point and your reflected image interact to produce a feedback that feels like tuning to instruments together. Vocal report plus command. Now the crucial vocal protocol. Speak with posture aligned and chest resonance active. The words must be concise: report, claim, command, and you must mean them. Use one of the templates below. Pick one and speak it clearly, with the felt authority in your chest. Do not elaborate or apologize. Deliver the phrase once, or at most twice if necessary, and then let it go. At Template A, present tense claim. Monad, I am here. I claim my authority. The limitation dissolves. Alignment is commanded. It is done. Template B, past perfect, stylistic. Monad, I am here. I thank you. The connection is complete. Come forth. Choose the one that lands more naturally. You may adapt slight wording to fit your voice, but keep the structure. Report of presence. A claim of authority. A statement that the limiting pattern dissolves. A command for alignment. And a concise close. The grammar matters. A command is not a wish. The voice is the instrument. Deliver it as a status report to the source within, and as a directive to whatever pattern is maintaining limitation. When you say the words, imagine they ride the chest's resonance into that pineal focal point. Imagine the mirror reflecting that beam back and amplifying it. This is not theater. It is an energetic handshake. You, reporting a completed link, and then issuing the instruction that reconfigures your field. Keep the face soft. Authority is not force. Let the breath carry the words. Let the chest ring with them. Release. Now the most important step. Let go. After you speak, exhale fully. Lower your hands and shift your gaze away from the mirror. Do not watch for outcomes. Do not scan the field for signs. The system responds on its own timing. The correct response from you is neutrality. This non-engagement prevents the archons, the reflexive noise, from rebounding your command into second-guessing. Sit quietly for a minute with eyes closed and feel the chest settle. If doubt arises, label it interference and return to the breath for 3 slow cycles. Then continue with your day. A few important practical notes about phrasing and delivery. Keep the command compact. Long speeches open lines for doubt to re-enter. The report must be factual. I am here signals presence. I claim my authority is a re-embodiment of your sovereignty. The limitation dissolves addresses the pattern you intend to end. Alignment is commanded directs the vector of reconfiguration. It is done closes the loop, signaling completion. If you feel called to add a prayer-like line to the monad, do so briefly, but avoid turning the command into a long petition. After the ritual, expect a variety of responses. Many people experience a brief collapse. Old emotional or psychosomatic structures loosen and may manifest as fatigue, sudden clarity, or unexpected shifts in mood. Others notice synchronistic echoes, small coincidences that resonate with the new alignment. Some feel a neutral stillness in which the urgency to chase outcomes fades. All of these are possible, and none are guaranteed. Importantly, you may also experience waves of doubt or mental chatter in the hours following. Treat these as the system's immunal reaction. Do not engage. Observe. Journal neutral facts. What did you feel physically? What did you see, if anything? And trust that the work of the ritual proceeds without your policing. There are risks of misapplication. Using the ritual as a repeated clamp of desperate willpower will only strengthen the pattern you are trying to dismantle. This is activation, not coercion. Use it with ethical intent. If your practice leads to increased anxiety or destabilization, pause and seek grounding methods. Longer breath work, movement, connecting with a trustworthy person, or professional support. This method is not a substitute for medical or mental health care. You will encounter interference. The archons wear many faces. Old narratives, relational pressure, digital distraction, the internal commentator that demands evidence. In practical terms, the immune response may show up as loud thoughts, confusion, or immediate tests that seem designed to provoke fear. That is normal. The skill is non-response. When doubt arises, do not argue. Do not supply reasons to believe. Your task is to let the initial command be an event that does not require your scrutiny. Observe the doubt like weather. Notice it, name it, and move on. Practice cadence matters. Start small. Use the full mirror ritual once or twice in a sitting if you feel stable, but do not overdo it. You may repeat the micro-practice, the 60-second grounding, daily to deepen recognition. Keep a journal of neutral observations rather than favorable outcomes. Record what you feel in the body, how often the doubt arrived, and whether synchronistic patterns appeared. Over weeks, you will develop a sense of whether the ritual is integrating. A word on authority and responsibility. Claiming inner authority is a moral act. It is not licensed to manipulate others or to seek power over people. It is a reclaiming of sovereignty over your own field and a recommitment to acting from that grounded center. Use these techniques to increase clarity, compassion, and aligned action. If you find the ritual amplifies traits like reactivity or entitlement, step back and reevaluate your intention. True authority tends toward restraint, compassion, and accountability. You may wonder why the mirror and the pineal focal language are paired. The mirror provides immediate feedback and helps dislodge identity as purely external. The pineal focal center, described here as an inner light point behind the forehead, functions in practice as a locus of attention. Calling it pineal activation is shorthand for a felt shift, greater internal concentration, altered perceptual weighting, and deeper somatic integration. Avoid medical interpretations. Think of the phrase as symbolic for an experiential focal point that, when engaged with the heart, amplifies the shift from supplicant to sovereign. Before we close, one more image. Imagine your inner field as a radio receiver. For years, it has been tuned to a station of scarcity and waiting. This ritual is a retuning process. The mirror is the tuning fork. The descent is the technician's hand. The vocal command is the new frequency lock. The world may not immediately rearrange to your desire, but your perception will begin to change, and with that change come new options you could not have seen before. Use this method ethically, quietly, and with humility. Do not publicize the results to provoke envy or proof. Instead, cultivate a small inner laboratory of disciplined practice and honest record-keeping. If you feel called to share, use neutral language. The practice is experimental and subjective. If you tried the micro-practice at the beginning, I invited you to leave a single neutral comment, such as "I tested the line." If you did that, you have begun the work. If not, that's fine too. Come back when it feels right. This is a doorway practice. For those who wish to go deeper, I offer structured modules that expand on resonance techniques, group coherence practices, and ethical frameworks for wielding authority. If you want to continue learning in a guided way, subscribe to this channel. There, I teach progressive steps that preserve safety and emphasize integration over spectacle. Finally, remember this: the ritual is not a promise, it is a responsibility. It asks you to stop begging and to begin remembering. It asks for courage to claim sovereignty and the discipline to let go of outcome. The most profound change is not the sudden external miracle, but the internal shift that makes new choices visible. When you stand before the mirror and speak with your chest, you are not trying to command the world. You are realigning with the source within you and issuing a clear instruction from that place. That clarity is itself a revolution. If you choose to practice, do so with care. Keep a neutral record of what you observe, and treat your authority as a stewardship. The line is there to be tested, not abused. The work is subtle, the responsibility great, and the potential for transformation real, in the sense that you may begin to live from the recognition of your own divine spark.